edition of Whose Monster Is It Anyway? GaryCon or Virtual GaryCon 2020. GaryCon 12, as everybody knows, was unfortunately had to be canceled, but we have our very own organizer of GaryCon here with us tonight as a special guest, and he will be helping us create the monster for this evening. For those of you that haven't seen the show before, we are Phil Stone and I will draw and stat a monster based on your inputs plus the inputs from our contestant Luke Gygax and fellow wizard of the couch Danny Lee Grimes. So with that being said, how we doing, everybody? Everybody doing all right? Luke, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks very much. It was a really great first day of virtual GaryCon. Thank you and your entire team, Mr. Grimes included, for helping us facilitate, pivoting to virtual GaryCon. And I'm honored to be here to help create some sort of crazy monster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think victory from the jaws of defeat is the saying as it goes, and it really is coming together. I felt like today went really well. We had a lot of we had 200 people there watching the stream this morning, watching the replay of Mike Merle's game.
It's great. And I mean, those are fantastic games, man. I loved playing with Merle's and Joe and I playing and doing those Mordenkainen missions. And I'm pretty sure Thurisden is behind this caper, just from the two games. And they're on YouTube. So if you haven't seen them, just go watch them. They're worth it. The first one is called, they misname it Jox Machina, Founders and Legends. It wasn't a Jox Machina, but it's Joe and a bunch of other folks. And then this last one from GaryCon 11. And probably Founders and Legends here in July. We'll probably do part 3 of that, hopefully. Although the way things are going, it might be next GaryCon, we might be doing another virtual, just doing all virtual stuff. But this is
funny. Go ahead.
Great. This is great. Fantastic way to get together. And I'm so happy that this has opened up to, guys like Heath were able to join us from Australia and folks around the world. There are guys who wouldn't normally be able to make it. And so there's some benefits to doing virtual GaryCon.
Yeah, absolutely. Heath was very lively this morning. Our friends down in Australia were definitely enjoying the opening ceremonies. First thing today as well. Seemed like I was going to say. Oh yeah, so the one thing I had to keep stamping down on the chat was that there were some people that were genuinely upset that you guys were sitting within 6 feet of each other, and I was like, it's recorded. They've got 365 days of space between them.
Yeah, that was last year, guys.
Yeah, I went and labeled it as blatantly as I could too, but man, there were some people. There was little cuss words floating around there. I don't mean to say like it was rampant. It wasn't rampant, but there were a couple people that were just like, "F this! Why are they doing this?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, guy, calm down.
Bastards canceled the convention and then they're sitting. Now that's it. Oh, are we PG-13? Are we?
No.
It's a little bit later.
Yeah. I was gonna say too. You cannot blatantly label anything enough.
Oh,
lesson learned there for sure. All right, so if you are new to the stream, I promised this last week, but this week we actually have a Whose Monster Is It Anyway card pack. If you want to go to streamloots.com/wizards of the couch, the link there in the chat, you can go grab your loot packs that help support the show, and you can make us do some strange and funny things. There's one in particular in there where you can make Danny try and imitate the sound of whatever monster we're creating. I say Danny, but it's any of us. You can choose any of us. Oh, my microphone's low again, huh? All right, let me fix that. I can fix that. I ask all the time.
Hey, thanks a lot, Lloyd.
All right, how's that? Is that any better?
Yeah.
Is that any better?
Oh, yeah.
All right, great. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Like you're right in my ear right now. Whispering sweet nothings.
I'll try not to laugh too loud. Speaking of which, Phil, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man.
Artist Phil Stone, artist extraordinaire, everyone. How's extended spring break still going into this week, right?
No. The professors finally figured out how to put everything online.
Those bastards.
And decided, they said, yeah, everything's due tomorrow. So I did. So yeah, I already had like 2 tests, and I had to submit a bunch of storyboards again and stuff like that. So.
Oh man. Well,
it is what it is.
You're taking, and you're nice enough to take time out to draw us a freaking monster. That's awesome.
I do this 15 hours a day. I haven't even I don't get out of my pajamas, but twice a week to go to the beer store.
That's why we.
They kind of frown upon you.
What's that? They frown upon it?
Yeah, when you go into the liquor store with your underwear on, you get cut off before they even ring you up.
Oh. Danny, how the heck are you?
I am good. In real life, I am part of an essential part of the supply chain. So there is no remote work for me, but I'm happy to be out there doing my duty and making sure that people get their medicine packaged correctly and their food packaged correctly. And now I'm just happy to be not doing that for a couple of days and hanging out with you all and making some cool monsters.
Well, God bless you. That's awesome.
I'm actually glad we get to stay open, although it is risky. We all take a lot of precautions, so we do our best. There's nothing for it. So,
right. Okay, Luke, as I mentioned, is the contestant tonight. So it's a contestant's choice on kind of the theme of the monster. Did you have anything in mind? Anything jump out that you'd like to create? So just to give you kind of a little bit of a backstory, we've had what was last week? We had the Trunkle, which was some sort of weird displacer raccoon. We had we had the Icles, which was basically an eyeball on top of a tentacle. We had what was that bear trap one called? Morph Maw.
The Morph Maw.
Yeah, it was basically some creature that ate. It was kind of like the what's the movie? Not The Thing. Yeah, Thing. Kind of where he would absorb something and gain some of their abilities. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. Anything and everything's fair game.
I'm thinking that we need to have something that is sort of insectoid for some reason. I'm thinking of an
insectoid. Okay.
Lots of legs, segmented body.
A bug to fight.
Oh yeah, and Splorgus was fun. That was a living fungi.
I almost went with fungus, so I'm glad I didn't go with fungus because we already did one. It was between fungus and insect, so.
Well, it was a freaking hilarious show. So I mean, we couldn't go wrong doing more fungi. Lloyd Metcalf says mantis-ish. So we've got, what is that, Thrycreen? You got the Thrycreen already.
Yeah, I got the Thrycreen.
Yeah. What kind of bug? Like a roach? What is that? That Mimic movie was a roach, right? That ended up being like some giant mutant roach.
Yeah,
big and segmented.
Insects can fly. Insects are segmented. They have 6 legs. They have antenna.
They do. I think having wings is good. I think that's fun. And obviously, maybe some eyes that do something.
If it doesn't have like compound eyes, it's not an insect to me. You got to have
compound eyes. It's got to have compound eyes, but I think maybe the eyes have some sort of properties about them. Do they confuse you? Does it shoot rays? I mean, I think there needs to be something with the eyes. So that would make it.
Yeah, I like all that.
So we're thinking cockroach?
Yeah, what are we talking about? Like cockroach, beetle, mantis, fly?
Cockroaches fly, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cockroaches can fly. The really terrible ones.
Yeah. That's the scariest kind of cockroach, right?
Yeah. Well, so is it a tiny bug that comes in a swarm, or is it a big ass bug that eats?
Oh, that's a big ass bug. I think this is
big ass bug.
This is a big bug. Yeah.
Them style.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. All right. So cockroachy-ish.
Hey, have we ever done anything like that? What's that bug called? It's like a Prociops.
Ooh, yeah. Lloyd actually had a good idea. Sorry to interrupt. The Dobson fly. No. That's terrifying. A giant Dobson fly would be.
Ooh, what's a Dobson fly?
Those are the ones that I think they're in Africa. They implant their eggs in humans, and then they.
Let's do botflies.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Botfly.
Yeah, you're thinking botflies. Go down that wormhole tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, Dobson flies are pretty terrifying looking. Too. I mean, all of them are pretty terrible. But I think I want to feel like 3 sets of wings. You know, we got 1, we got 2, but what has 3? You know, maybe a set of wings that goes with each set of legs.
Maybe its legs are wings. Like it's got little.
Ooh, instead of legs, it has like little, almost like oars off the side of a boat. It flies around like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Okay.
Like sweeps. You know, like the Greco-Roman sweeps.
Yeah.
So the legs are wings. Got it.
This is why he's a professional artist, because he says shit like, so the legs are wings. Got it.
Does it have some sort of proboscis, some sort of stinger sticking out that it rams into people like a Greek ship, and then like does a blood drain?
Ooh, yeah.
You know, I know we're done to death with tentacles, but the little thing, the thing that comes off the front of a butterfly,
Yeah.
Got it.
except a tentacle.
All right.
We almost got away from it.
Yep, you almost escaped.
Dobson flies have huge pinchers, says Lloyd.
There's something I'm loving about this face, which I only assume it's a face right now.
We're getting there, yeah.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. Yeah, we got.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say we do have to do something that's weird. It can't just be a giant fly or a giant bug.
It's big. So is it 5 feet long? Is it 3 feet long? Is it 12 feet long?
I think it's definitely more like 8 feet long. It's a big bug.
Oh yeah, that makes me shudder a little bit.
Yeah.
Lori says it definitely has to have tentacles.
Yeah, I'm not super shocked. All the tentacles, all the time.
All right, so it's got.
What do the tentacles do? All right, so we gotta have something. So does the tentacle have some sort of paralysis slime on it? A poison slime? A acid slime? What does the tentacle do?
I like what you're saying about the ramming property, so it can like knock somebody off its feet, and then it uses that to almost like a mosquito or sturge. I hate to go to the sturge route, but maybe it. I mean, a proboscis is used for getting the nectar out of a flower, right?
Right. So does it ram them down and then jam its? Wouldn't really be a tentacle then.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. I'm not sure it's a tentacle. It's like a
Like
it's just a.
Yeah.
Unless each sucker has like a little maw on it, so it basically just chews on you and sucks it out from a bunch of holes.
Gross.
I love it when like serious D&D veterans all go, yeah. Okay, Danny, that sounds great. Why don't you go back to playing Shadow the Demon Lord?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, that's right. You are coming right off of that game. Yeah.
I so am. Yes.
Ooh, chainsaw proboscis. That's not a bad idea. Chainsaw like it. That's how it.
A bio saw.
Biosaw. Ooh, all right. Oh, speaking of which, I'm supposed to be freaking typing. All right, this thing's large.
Well, I'm supposed to be doing my job here. Oh shit.
Large beast. It's unaligned. Is it unaligned, or are we thinking like fiendish type? Is this just a creature that's found in the wilderness, or is this a?
It has to be either an abomination, right? Isn't that like when a magic user
Abomination, okay.
Sort of weird thing. Or fiendish. I would say one of the two. What makes more sense?
We've done a ton of abominations. Not a ton. I mean, this is our 9th show, but we've done several abominations. Maybe this could be the fiend.
Let's do a fiendish. Yeah. That's great. So now there's a reason why it has some weird effects, and it's going to be probably a little bit more intelligent.
Yeah, I like that. I like going that route a lot better. Awful. Evil.
And that gives it a chance for its eyes to do some sort of confusion. Stunning, something like that. Like looking to its eyes, maybe it's a charm. Maybe if you maybe you willingly stand there while it sucks your blood from you if you fail.
I'm thinking this thing is
Oh,
surprising.
there you go, little horns. I like it. It's now fiendish. They're very good.
Surprisingly quick, with a speed of 40 and a fly of 60. Does that sound about right?
Oh yeah, that's fast. That's good.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes bugs creepy is when they're fast.
Yeah, it's a big, fast bug that wants to suck your blood.
Uh-oh. We already got somebody saying they're going to definitely add this to their game. It's a Maine mosquito. Oh, so this isn't even a unique creature. It's just a mosquito from Maine.
They have these 8-foot-long mosquitoes. Name, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I saw somebody on here. What was it? Biodrill churn saw. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Chainsaw.
we doing a chainsaw in its mouth or no?
Yeah, like the proboscis has, maybe it's 2, and it I don't know what
Yeah,
it's
okay.
called.
All right, I like that. It's got like jagged edges on its. So it's basically like a hedge trimmer.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the hedge trimmer. Like there's a fish like that, right? The sword, the
Yeah.
sawfish.
the shark.
Yeah, it's a flat nosed shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
I got one in the backyard.
those are really aggressive spikes there, man. I love it.
Yeah, so those nubs, all those spikes tear up the flesh, and then it's got a proboscis to suck up the blood and ichor and that sort of stuff. That's how it eats.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, I like
So
that
here's
a lot.
there's the we're gonna right there.
Maybe there's some little flute holes in that proboscis. So once
that
it's
makes
plunged
sense.
in there, it just
Yeah.
sucks in.
Yeah, I like it.
That was a free sound effect. Nobody even had to play a card for that one.
First
Uh-oh.
one's free.
Take a
First
drink,
one,
Danny. Take a drink, Danny. There's the first card. Who was that?
Yeah.
They didn't even sign it. They left it unlabeled.
I think too that we need a card in there. Several. They're like, Danny, shut up. You're drunk.
Once they build, it's a building game. So once they've built all of the parts and pieces for the drinks, then they can play that one.
Well, that's nice. So they
No,
can't
I'm just kidding.
randomly.
That's
Randomly play it?
Just kidding.
Are you just
I'm just
kidding?
kidding.
God damn it!
Yes.
Is Cersei out there?
I didn't see him, but it seems like a
What?
Cersei thing to do.
Good. Don't tell him about this show anymore. He's bad for my liver.
All right, damage immunities. We want to give it resistance to. I mean, it's got a hard carapace, right? So we want to give it like resistance to
Piercing?
piercing, probably.
Yeah, piercing or slashing, but
Oh, sorry, yeah, piercing. Yeah. Crushing blows would do damage. So how tough do we want to make it? Both? Or just slashing?
our modus operandi is to start really mellow, but then they all end up like CR.
By the end. Yeah. So what we want
Alright.
to do tonight is create a CR1 monster and see what we can give to first level adventurers, and then by the end it's
Yeah, and then we're giving it
18th
tank
level.
treads. And
Yeah. This thing's already amped up from where we started.
Yeah, this is great.
Damage from,
so what is its ecology? Like, where does it live?
Well, apparently it lives in either hell or Hades or someplace like that, because it's fiendish.
Ooh.
Hell, right?
Hey, isn't there a frozen plane
There
of
is.
hell?
There is.
Maybe this
Yeah.
bug has some fur.
Ooh, a furry bug. So kind of going against the whole yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it could still have the carapace, but it could have some parts of it that are a little fuzzy.
Yeah, I don't want to get what's the isn't it the glue gun devil? It's kind of an insecty.
Yeah, the
Ice
ice
thing-
devil.
ice
There's
thing,
that ice
yeah.
devil that looks like a bug.
Yeah, so don't want to go too far down that route. But
Yeah.
fur wouldn't be out of the realm of possible. All right. Of course, that guy's more humanoid, standing uppy type.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, it was just
This
an
one's-
idea. They're not all
No,
good.
no, this is good. Like a,
Ooh, I like that little detail right there. That's pretty sexy.
Huh?
so I'm getting a lot of.
It's fueled by
It should-
PBR, man.
It should not be immune to bludgeoning because.
Oh, not bludgeoning. Bludgeoning, no. It should
Yeah,
get full damage.
we squash bugs. Yeah, for sure.
It should be
Yeah.
vulnerable to bludgeoning.
Oh,
Ooh,
you think
there
you think
go.
vulnerable?
Yeah, because stomping bugs is how you deal with them.
Are we trying to lower its CR a little bit?
Yeah,
Then make it vulnerable. Maybe that's the secret. You gotta be able to squish this thing. Although it's like an 8-foot bug, it's pretty big, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's got. I don't know that make it vulnerable. Unless we're gonna downsize.
Oh, there's mine. I got a drink.
Yep.
This is Jack. It's Jack and Coke, by the way. It's not just whatever that looks like on my drink cam. My ice is all melted now, though.
Ooh, a favored mount of ice mevets. But don't ice mevets fly?
Well, this flies too.
Well,
this guy flies. Remember, he's got the oars. He's got the oars.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, we walk and horses walk when we ride them, so.
All right, why not? I'm gonna refuel.
Good.
Oh, yeah, that is
Philosophy
true.
by Danny.
That definitely happens.
Why are you riding on that horse? You can walk.
Oh.
Philosophy.
Large feed. Infernal. Ooh, you want to give this guy telepathy? I like that. That's kind of not even coherent telepathy. Like you could just hear the chittering in your head.
Yeah, so one of its special powers has to be it's in my head.
Oh, okay. I like that. It's in my.
That goes with the whole confusion thing. We've got to do something.
Yeah, right on.
I like that he's onto the confusion thing. Maybe what we need above the little antennas is those little
circles. Yeah.
Circles of invisible emanation.
Yeah.
It calls the fish like Aquaman.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's
Aquaman. Aquaman can swim. He rides a seahorse. I mean, this idea goes right to the core of everything.
This is the Aquaman of hell. Aquabug.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. Maybe the sound that it puts in your head is like the sound of potato chips, and then you wander over there looking for some, and that's when it gets you.
Right.
Lures you in with a crunchy sound, and then
gotcha.
I think the thing I love about this show more than anything is that it shows that you can just sit down and make shit up. Like it doesn't have to have some overarching idea or consistency with the real world or any of that. It should just be goofy.
Yeah, it's a fantasy game, guys. Spells aren't real.
Right.
Magic isn't real. So have fun with it.
By the way, Phil, I think that's the perfect amount of hair.
You like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
He's a little manscaped.
Yeah,
he's a middle-aged ice bug demon.
Just enough to entice you.
So we just got the sound card played. So one of us is going to have to make a sound for this thing, but they haven't said who yet.
Bug tuft. I like bug tuft.
Danny.
Oh, it's Jimmy. It's Jimmy, that bastard.
That's a good noise.
Somebody clip that. Jimmy, it did not pop up. The text didn't pop up for some reason. That's kind of weird. Okay, it's in my head. That was the in my head noise. Churn saw. Senses. What do we got for senses?
All of them.
Probably all of them. So we made up. What kind of senses? We can make stuff up too on this one. We made up a couple of different senses before.
If it has the big compound eyes, maybe 360-degree vision can't be flanked.
Yep.
That's good.
And maybe you don't even say 360-degree vision. You just say it can see all around it. It can't be flanked. Immune to flanking.
Immune to, well, I mean, we don't have I guess, yeah, you do. Sure you do. Okay. Immune to...
Sneak. Oh, yeah, that too, I guess. These
But
weird
this would be good
little
against
wing things.
rogues. Those goddamn rogues are always hiding and doing that higher damage attack, their bonus attack. So there you go. I like that.
Yeah,
This
I
is
like
the
that a
rogue
lot.
killer.
So this is like the anti-rogue monster. Resistant to piercing, and it can't be flanked. So the rogue's just like, I guess I die?
Well, maybe it's some sort of magical guardian. Maybe it's been, if we are going the aberration route created by a wizard, maybe it's created to protect a wizard's lair from creepers and sneakers and.
Well, yeah, we're going devil on this one.
Fiendish route because we've done so many ever.
So every week, Luke, I just come up with a silly name before the show starts, just as a placeholder, and I put Gaxfiend in here initially, but that actually is not a terrible name as it turns out.
I think it needs one more X though.
I still like Chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. That's pretty silly.
Blood-sucking taco.
No, Matt, you brought it up that one show.
I did, yeah.
And I took my wife to the restaurant, I think a couple days later, and I got drunk, and we drew the Chupacabra on the napkins that I don't think we were supposed to draw on them, but because they weren't paper. But we got it done, and we hammered it out of what that thing would look like.
There you go, proficiency bonus. Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see that. I think you're right. Proficiency bonus says perhaps it can't be surprised as well. So all around vision, we want a funny name for that. I've got a placeholder, all around vision. Immune to flanking, can't be surprised. So I'll come up with something more clever than that before we're done here. But what we got for all around vision? Anybody in chat? All right, churn saw. It's in my head. So I'm gonna say, does it have like dark vision, or is it what do normal?
Ooh, I love that little the second little feeler coming out of there.
Yeah, you like that? You like when I put those things there? Those are my tickle feelers.
Yeah. You know, I do appreciate it. At least we find ourselves tremendously amusing.
Right. True sight, because fuck it, he says. All right.
Maybe is that tentacle how they reproduce, or
maybe it could
and eats.
and yeah, why not? That would be pretty fiendish.
This is where
very nice.
This is where he does his magic and.
Oh man, I'm impressed.
Oh yeah, that's sick. All right. Immune to fire and poison, vulnerable to bludgeoning, resistant to piercing. What does everybody think about the stats? So far I've got a strength of 20. I figure he's a bug. He's pretty strong. Dex, he's so big I only have a dex of 12. Constitution pretty high at 18. Intelligent at 14. And not terribly wise, because bug zappers and shit, so he just flies into stuff. Wisdom with a wisdom of 10 and a charisma of 8. Does this sound reasonable?
It does.
Multifaceted. Ooh, that's a $10 word right there.
It is.
Multifaceted. Multifaceted vision. All right. Oh, Google says I need another E. All right. All right. That's only. So what does churn saw do? We need to figure that out. Churn saw.
I think it must.
Lloyd is not happy with a charisma of 8. He thinks it's too sexy for a charisma of 8.
So,
but it's got a second tentacle.
So if we put the holes in there, it could be twofold. It could pump digestive juices out, which would do additional damage, and also slurp up the meat that was liquefied.
Give that man a prize.
So it has some sort of acid, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Acid, and then it vibrates back and forth and turns it up and sucks it up through the multiple holes in its.
This thing is terrible. Yep. All right, I gotcha. So regurgitated juices is that ability. So if it has, I'm going to say if it has.
That is truly
If the-
wonderful.
Yeah, man, that's great.
It looks pretty creepy.
Yeah. Wow.
I drawed it all by myself.
You're real good at drawing.
I'll tell you what. I got a blue ribbon at the fair. I drew my
All right,
neighbor's
so I
cow.
think a lot of the churn saw and regurgitated juices are going to revolve around what it's in my head does. So is that some sort of stun incapacitation paralysis attack?
Yeah, I think you definitely are. I think you're confused or stunned or basically, yeah. I think that's right. I think you're puzzled and you kind of lose your opportunity to act.
Hey Phil, you got a drink card, buddy.
Take a drink, Phil.
What?
You heard me.
Hold on.
Listen here, artist. Just do as you're told. Don't make us come in there and force you to drink.
All right, so confusion as in the spell type ability?
I mean, it could be a stun. It could be a confusion. I mean, how powerful we want to make it? Is it the
So, yeah, I'm thinking.
antenna waves making you stunned, or is the antenna waves and the chittering in your head confuse you so that you could potentially be motionless for multiple rounds?
Melf
You know
plus
what-
plus 2
what
for that description.
What could be interesting is it does it at a distance. Like it has this thing that it can do when you're like 60 feet away and it immobilizes you there. As it gets closer, it fades off, but it allows it to close for combat all the time. Like
Yeah,
you
that's
can-
kind of what I was. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. Is that this, like, what you were saying, Luke? Is that this is like its ability to take down a target, and
Do its hairs somehow amplify? It's like sound off of its antenna, and that somehow stuns people, and that's why the hairs are there.
I think that's just for,
I'm so
I think it's
crazy.
just for cuddling, but
All right, it's just to make it more snuggly.
more snuggling.
All right, I just want to make sure.
All right, so I think in my head allows it to get in close, and then it uses its churn saw and regurgitated juices to dispose of its prey.
I agree. You aren't going to be too confused once you get churn sawed. You're probably going to be.
By then it's too late.
Yeah, by the time you're being churn sawed, you're pretty sure you know what's going on.
Tobacco spit plus 3, range of 10 feet. Ew.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Chaw bucket.
Chaw. No.
Mhm.
All right. Regurgitate chaw. I don't. Yeah, I think maybe it has a limited spit attack of some sort. So
Disorienting.
How does it sit with that funky churn saw, though?
it just flings it.
Through those little, those little, through those little holes in its face. It's got those little holes in its face.
There you go. Okay, all right, I'll buy that.
It just scrunches up its face real tight and goes, "Ugh."
It's like it's blowing its nose at you.
Yep.
Gr- All right. So let's see here.
What does that dingler do right there? What's the
What's the
purpose of the dingler?
The which
Tentacle.
one?
The tentacle, the dingler.
That's how it's regurgitating out of that, right? It's getting its stomach juices after it saws open its victim. That thing
Okay.
goes.
Got it. Okay. So that's where it's doing the slurping. Okay.
It's slurping out of that thing. Oh God! Somebody clip that. All right.
I'm not going
let's
to
see.
announce it. You're going to have to be quick on the clip button. I think too, maybe I don't know how hard it is to change, Phil, but maybe where that little the sucker proboscis comes out
I'm not sold on it.
could be right like under the saw thing, like it comes out from the same little area underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sold on it. It looked like a bad.
Oh,
Now that is a baller fucking artist right there.
He's like, yeah, he committed fully to it. He's like, all right, done.
I think it needs just maybe be a little smaller and a little more delicate
Yep, I think you're right.
when it does its sucking.
It was starting to look like one of those Whoville horns.
Danny just did that noise. Yes, he did. Reflux spray. There you go. That's exactly what it's called.
Hey, somebody called the sound it makes the disorienting drone.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it's in my head is. It's the disorienting drone.
That's pretty good.
I think that's one thing is fantasy role-playing games love their alliteration.
Yeah.
All creatures within 15 feet of the Gaxfiend.
Yeah, I think the Gaxfiend is a perfect name for it, really.
That is, yeah, I like that.
Wisdom.
Hey, they finally went, I don't remember because I haven't played any hellish games lately, but they finally went away from Biatsu and all that and went back to Devils and Demons, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Oh, I like this thing better.
Yes, it's kind of just flapping around there, waiting to get something.
Just waiting to bore in.
13
Wow,
wisdom saving
wow, wow.
or suffer the effects of a
That thing looks pretty creepy. I give you that. It's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it has another one of those. Maybe there's another sucker on the other side too to give it a little symmetry. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, come out this way.
Yeah, dangling down. So when it bores in, then these things both go.
Yep.
They're there to suck up all the splashes.
Yep. To hoover them up.
Yep.
All right. Reflux spray is 10-foot cone. 10-foot, is it like a dart? You do the.
Is it an effect or does it hit just one person? I'm thinking like a spitting cud, right? It's a single target.
Yeah.
Or are we spraying out of those 3 holes?
Reflux.
No, I think it's just spit at a target.
Yeah.
Single target, right?
Because the drone sound or the in your head feature, that's more of an area of effect thing.
Yeah.
It slows down its prey on the plains of hell, and then once you're slowed down, it zooms in and sucks out your vital essence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was that in here? Drone of the Wings, save versus charm or stun.
There's that scene in Lord of the Rings where they all pause on the side of the mountain when the dark cloud is approaching, and he says, "Krebine from Dunland," and they all hide under the rocks. If these things would have showed up, that would have been a completely different scene, man.
Somebody get Peter Jackson on the phone. We got to reshoot it. You did it wrong, Peter.
For the Platinum Deluxe version, well, I can save that criticism for the entire Hobbit trilogy. Ooh, I like it. Slightly battered wings.
Oh yeah, it's seen some shit.
It's seen some things.
I've seen some things, man.
Hey, man, I've seen some things.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend. Yeah. So, does it have any sort of flyby attack, or does it just fly to you and land?
Ooh.
I'm always on the lookout for good monsters with flyby attacks. It's nice to not let the players have full hacks. Well, it's not nice for them, but
Right.
But let's face it, the players are just there to satisfy my ego. Dude, this is coming together super dope.
I like it.
Yeah.
I really like the patterning. I think the patterning on it is like almost my favorite thing.
It's got a little history and lore to it, maybe. Adulting. Like you could figure out male from female just by its markings.
Yeah. Yeah.
If this was in color, though, what would it look like? What are those markings like?
Shit. No, I'm joking.
I think it's
brown and yellows.
yeah, either that or I think of it as like tone on tone.
Yeah.
Red, like a brighter red, and then those little markings are like brick red.
Like a gradient.
Yeah. Almost like tank camouflage.
Okay.
Breakup pattern. I mean, I always imagine hell being red, but I was raised as a good Christian boy, so I can't help that. I've since fallen off.
It's all that Dungeons and Dragons. It's from the devil.
Yep.
Yeah,
It was
right.
Satan got a hold of me back there in the 80s, and that was it.
Change with the siphoned fluid. Mantis colors depending on plane. Oh yeah, it's dependent upon on the plane that it's on. It's like a mantis. It adapts to its.
Ooh, yes,
Ooh.
one for every plane of hell. We could issue it as a coloring book.
There you go.
We could issue like we could issue
All the same picture.
Yeah, all 9 go out to fans, and they get to send us back their version of each layer of hell.
It'll be called Can I Interest You in My Lord and Savior Glonder coloring book.
Have you ever paused to consider your eternal damnation? I mean, like insofar as having one.
Can you imagine a place where nobody got along?
Strangely enough.
Oh, can you imagine a place? Yeah, it's social media.
So here's a funny story about that. I'll make it really short. So the first time I tried to get a comic book job, I got swindled into driving 3 days across country from Detroit to California. And that didn't work out too well. So I ended up drawing really horrible porn for 2 years for this meth head. Well, we didn't have a TV, so my sister and her boyfriend came out with me, and we had no TV and no entertainment. Every day while I was drawing, there would be a knock at the door with a youth group from some church down the street. And this went on for about a week.
Oh boy.
And one night we were getting drunk, and I was just bitching about it. I was like, why did they just like find out that we just moved in or what? My sister and her boyfriend cracking up. They had called every church in 3 counties over and told them that there was screaming and dead cats and blood coming out of my room, and if they could send over somebody as an emissary to talk to me. I had a stack of Bibles taller than my drawing table. So I said, well, how many more are coming? And they're like, we don't know. We just kept calling one night. And so I was ready for them the next time they came. So next time there was a knock at the door. There's 2 kids from the youth group. And they said, oh, you're an artist. I said, yeah. I said, you're in luck. I need 2 models. And they're like, really? And I said, yeah, I got a new book coming out called Slut, Nuns, and Heat. How would you like to fucking model for it? Dude, they ran. I don't even think I finished my sentence.
That's terrible.
Never came back. Never saw another one again.
I bet they didn't. Yeah.
Word got out.
Word got out.
All right.
That's awesome.
Regurgitated juices. What are we doing for that? Meth wasp. Meth wasp? What kind of bug will be swatting you in the afterlife? That's right. Could you... Sorry, I'm laughing at chat. All right. Regurgitated juices. I need to know what that does. Is that against a creature that is disoriented? It deals double damage, maybe? So, like, if churn saw, I feel like it needs to be able to grapple somebody. Like if it gets its churn saw on you, you're considered grappled.
Regurgist
yes.
squirts.
Is that maybe what the hooks are for? On its legs? We can assume that it's like latched onto you and it's digging that saw in there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
You know, the more I think about this, though, it doesn't really have any way to grab you. It does have those little clawlets on the end, but that's how I imagine it, like, hangs onto trees or weird rocks in hell. Maybe it just shoots right at you and it just fucking punctures you with that thing.
Which is back to our ramp.
Like a dart.
Yeah.
Like a dart, and then it hangs off.
Priority.
Yeah, it just hangs there. You can't get it off.
Well, what are these little spikes on its elbow? It's got spikes on its elbows, so it could probably dig in there.
Yeah, I'm just going back to all that talking that
People's elbow.
just doing about ramming.
People's elbow. It's not,
Man, that breakup pattern is dope.
on some jabronis.
I am definitely going to color this when we get this thing done.
I finished the raccoon today.
I'm sure it looks dope.
There's a lot of fur on that damn thing.
The raccoon.
Oh my god! Yeah, holy shit!
It's a trunkle.
That's a trunkle. That trunkle is canon.
Skeeter Green was not very happy that we were mocking raccoons. It was pretty amusing. Apparently, he has a thing for raccoons.
I harangued Skeeter during their small company publishing seminar today.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Usually they have a very lighthearted topic, but I just jumped in there and started messing with him, and before I realized it was a more serious tone, so I had to back off.
Of course.
Yep.
That's the best. Those are the best moments, though.
Mm-hmm.
You realize, oh, I'm in the middle of something I'm not supposed to be in the middle of. Last year at GaryCon, Dan, the Hammered Dan, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
He had said, "Hey, stop up and see this table. I'm setting it up in the celebrity area." And because I build tables too, and I was like, "Yeah, man, maybe later I'll stop by." So I'm walking by, and I look in, and there's nobody standing there. He's just in the middle of the room assembling the table. So I walk in, I'm like, "Dude, this table's dope. I really like it. This is great." And that's when I noticed that the reason no one's standing by him is because they are filming a commercial for him.
Oh no.
And he goes, and Dan is just the sweetest guy. He turns to me and goes, "Hey man, thanks. But like, I'm recording a commercial right now." Did not miss a beat, man. I'm like, "Oh, well then I'm going to get out of here." He goes, "Yeah, that's great." What the hell are those things?
It needed something else.
It does. It needs something swept back. Exactly.
Yeah. Now you can tell it's flying fast.
Yeah, see, I feel like it's headed towards you right now, and at the last second, it's gonna flick that thing up and just it's like an anchor that you put in your wall to mount a screw.
Oh, it's a Jenny.
Yeah. Somebody said it needs a bum stinger, but I wasn't sure if I think it was Lloyd. I'm not sure he meant like it should have a stinger on its bum or it should sting you in the bum.
No, it does need a bum stinger. I just had to make more room for it.
Maybe like a little pigtail. It corkscrews its way in.
Ooh, hold on.
Oh god, that's disturbing.
It is.
Like an 8 foot, yeah, big 8-foot critter.
Wow, yeah, that's bad news. It's definitely a guy got a corkscrew in there, so. Oh, sorry. The Gaxfiend, sorry.
I need a good name from the crowd on what its grappling ability is called. So that the attack itself is the churn saw, but what do we want some buggy sounding grapple attack? Like when it hits you, it's gonna basically eviscerate you on that Saw. What do we want to call that?
Manda
Stab.
Blaster.
You've only had 2 drinks. No suggestions? Come on, people. Work with me.
Trunkle.
All right. We want to call it the Trunkle attack? No. All right. Regurgitated juices when the Gaxfiend has a target grappled. It deals double damage with its reflex
You know,
hood.
I'm tempted to leave this corkscrew stinger on there and just not explain it.
Oh wait, it's gonna get better because it's gotta, once you get the corkscrew in, it's gotta stay. So we're gonna go with the some barbs.
Oh, some barbs.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
Does that detach? And does it detach and just they grow it back, or what happens?
Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh, insect
Hey,
decision.
hey, maybe it leaves this thing in you and a whole new bug grows off of
I was
it.
just saying that's how it makes babies.
Yeah.
That's the baby maker.
I like that. That's great. So that thing comes off like a bee stinger, but that's
Call it Daddy's big barbed baby maker.
Wrong on so many levels.
This is yes.
corkscrew insertion. Yes, definitely yes.
Unlike like many of our contestants and guests on the show, Luke is a very polite, lovely guy, and so right before the show, he said, "So PG-13 or like what's the deal?" And we're like, "Oh no, just have at it." Well,
Let
this
me
is where
introduce
we
you
end
to-
up. This is what happens when you don't have fucking rules.
Let me introduce you to Phil.
Yeah, Phil and I kind of
Aristophanes.
feed off each other.
Aristophanes.
Aristophanes.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
I opened yours.
The Greekifying that.
Just the tip, says Lori.
It ain't just going in sideways.
So let's see here. What do we have for abilities? Target is grappled, disorienting drone.
Yeah, I need a name for that one. That's what I'm trying to find the name for.
Which one is that? The first one?
That very first one, the grapple attack. Actually, I don't need that. Never mind. I'm going to do this. So that's its action. So the churn saw is just the action, and then we'll describe it here. So we're good. So now it's got disoriented. What? I'm almost afraid to ask. What were we calling this? Corkscrew.
You know who we have to
attack.
have on for like the Halloween episode next year is Schwalb.
Oh yeah, he'd be a great. That's a good call.
He will
that
push
is a good
Phil.
call.
He will push Phil and me right over the edge.
All right. So I need. What are we calling that corkscrew thing? I don't even know if I need it. That might just be the. I don't know if that's an attack or that's just what it does. Like after it gets a victim, it just. I think
Maybe
that's an
maybe
attack.
it will make another. In so much time, it'll make another one of the Gaxfiends.
Mm-hmm.
It'll
feel
break it off
like-
inside you and create a Gaxfiend.
Countersink intrusion.
It'd be countersunk.
Not me, Lloyd. Not me.
Danny knew how to pronounce it, so I think.
I feel like when Phil draws something and I think it's really twisted, I'm like, wow, Phil, that's great. And then when I say something twisted and Phil's like, oh, wow, that's great. I feel like Schwab would say something, we'd both be like, manga eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
Boing. Yeah.
You definitely put a parental advisory before you have.
This
Schwalb in.
feels like a monster.
Without a doubt.
Hey, if you get a chance, Phil, real quick, let's just sketch like a a bit of a figure for scale, because I think we need to see how like
Oh yeah.
just like a stick. It doesn't have to be a stick figure. Just
How big is this thing?
8
I
foot.
think the body's 8 feet long from eyes to bum stinger.
All right, so if it was
yes,
standing,
yes. If it stings you, you are indeed screwed.
Ooh,
I'm just trying to think how to put the scale on
you're
it.
screwed. That's the name of that ability.
You're- oh my God.
Okay, I'll settle for that. That's good. All right. If
That's
the
best Selena.
Gaxfiend takes a target to 0 hit points, it will bed its
Oh,
its
yeah.
what?
Okay.
Its
I'm already seeing what I
corkscrew.
need to know, Phil.
What?
I'm already seeing what I need to know. This thing is terrifying.
Into the target, implanting a
Honey, grab the picnic basket. Let's go down to the lake. Buzz. Hey, what's that noise, honey? It's probably nothing.
the
I'm gonna leave my
corkscrew-like
gun in the car. Yeah.
1d3 days before exploding into a cluster of 4d4 Gaxfiends.
Are these things really 8 feet long? They're pretty badass at this point.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the higher CR dudes that we've done, I think.
Yeah.
Now, what does it have fiendish abilities or anything like that? Does it inherit some devil abilities?
With its immunities, I gave it immunity to fire and poison.
Okay, cool.
They don't. Yeah, they don't really have a ton of.
I mean, it can't gate in other Gaxfiends or anything crazy like that, right?
No, nope.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I should say I didn't put that in there. We can.
I'm just saying, maybe we limit it in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, how many of these guys do you see in a typical? Are they solitary? Do we see it?
This 8 foot.
2d4 plus 1.
Just cause.
Why not?
No, I think it probably is a solitary hunter, and it hunts the fields of hell. So what it's really feeding on is like lemur goo and like devil bile and all those things, right?
Yeah, no,
Lemur
I think
goo.
you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think being solitary explains why it's developed this confusion that it can use to get close to a target.
Right. It doesn't swarm you. It just attacks you
Right.
like a bear almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I
2D
gotta say,
2D
Just
oh
for-
shit, says Lloyd.
just from a compositional standpoint too, I just think it's a really well composed monster. Like it's got a pleasing shape.
It
It has,
does.
Yeah.
it has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
It's like a
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, it's so you can say 8 foot, but then when you put it in the proportions of a human, that's a big mug. That's a big dude.
That is a big bug.
Alluring monstrosity. What's alluring monstrosity? Got an ability name with no. What are we applying that one to? Last laugh.
Man, if that thing hits you with its churn saw, it's gonna bisect you.
Yeah, right. It turned into its grapple. It turned from its grapple ability to just a scythe that's going to choke
Yeah.
you in half.
and then
Oh,
slurp up the.
was there a sound card? I missed the sound card getting played. Crap. I think this is Jimmy in the background. He's in the back end just throwing cards out there.
That's great.
Yeah,
like
that's
it.
really awesome. That's really awesome. We had if Ingorgio's still on, we'll have the stats up here pretty quick as far as if you would really want to throw this into your adventure this weekend. Okay, Luke, we're at the 60-minute mark. What do you think?
Wow, that went by fast. That's a pretty terrifying creature. I like it.
Yeah. Thank you for the.
I don't know what CR that is. That's pretty tough though.
Oh yeah. Well, see, so that pretty much almost every session so far we walked away going. We'll figure it out later. I don't know. I think there's only been one of the 8 that we've done, 9 now, that we walked away going, okay, that's definitely a CR at this. But,
yeah, I think it'd be fun to make some CRs of like some lower level creatures, like some new kobolds or goblins or something like that, some sort of offshoots like that. That'd be pretty fun too. But this is badass. This is like this is you're a pretty high level party. 7th level, 8th level party.
I'll make sure I slip this over to Merle's for your next game.
There you go. You can afford those things. That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me join you guys and do this. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. If nothing else, the virtual convention gives you a little bit of free time to do stuff like this, right?
It does. I mean, there's much more. I mean, there's a lot going on. I had not that much planning time to make this happen, and honestly, it was a lot of the GaryCon staff doing the work, and so my hat's off to them. They saved the day. But yesterday I did a little bit of catching up and kind of got situated, and today I was able to get a few more things on my plate and be able to join you for this, and it's great. It's a little bit more relaxing. Definitely, I don't feel like my hair is on fire when I'm running around. But at the same time, I really do enjoy being there with everyone, seeing so many happy faces, and all the joy that's created. And there's something special about being there in person. But
sure. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Under these circumstances, this is about as good as I could. This is better than I would have imagined it being. So I'm very thankful.
Yeah, it's coming along great. What do you got? So 2 to 4 tomorrow. We're doing the lounge. You want to tell everybody about that real quick?
Oh yeah. So tomorrow, Friday, 2 to 4, I'm going to be on GaryCon Twitch. I'm going to talk to Jeff Talanian and my friend Flint Dilly about the book that he put out recently, Game Changers. Flint worked with my dad back in the Dungeons and Dragons Entertainment Corporation days when the D&D cartoon was on, and I went on to work on the Transformers and G.I. Joe cartoons. He wrote 50 Goes West. He's working now on what the hell is he working on? It's a geolocation game done by Niantic. Pokemon
one
Go.
of those you walk around. Oh, Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go used the architecture for this game, and they reskinned it and made it Pokemon. It's called Ingress is the name of the game. So that's he's been working on that since like GaryCon 4 or 5. And then, of course, they reskinned it to be Pokemon Go and made $1 billion or something like that.
$1 billion, yeah, right.
Yeah,
those games are fun. There's a couple on the App Store now, and it's pretty fun just like watching stuff around your house. And maybe that's the role player in me, but it's kind of fun to just go like, oh, okay, I'm going to go out front. I can't quite get that guy. I better walk.
Well, I didn't know what it was. He said, here's a link to the beta version. Just download it. And so I lived in Monterey, so this is 2015, maybe 2014.
Oh, okay.
And this was a while ago. And he's like, there's no rules or anything. So I downloaded him like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And it was like, something flashing. And eventually I get up and walk outside. I'm like, what? I have to walk outside and do something? I was like, this is I deleted it, but yeah.
Tell me to walk 500 steps.
Look like fuck this level of effort.
This is bullshit. So yeah, I tossed it, and of course, and when I saw Pokemon Go, I was like, oh,
That's what that was.
Yeah, so I kind of, obviously I'm not on the cutting edge of what's cool. I totally missed that one. And then Jeff Talanian, we wrote The Trouble at Loch Geneva for GaryCon 12. It's an adventure that introduces the Thunderfrost Dragon, which is a new dragon I designed, a bichromatic dragon in the family of the Blightworms out of my world of Oakreen. So the Blightworms have been infected with basically magical radiation, if you want to call it that, from a cataclysm. And this is made an evil blue and white dragon mix, and it has overtaken a dwarven stronghold, and the party has to go there and figure out what's going on.
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
And the correct me if I'm wrong, but the stronghold is the map, right? The Lake Geneva.
Right,
Geneva?
Correct. Absolutely. So the beautiful map created by Alyssa Fadden was kind of part of the reason why I was like, you know what, I'm not letting another year go by where I don't write an adventure for the Grand Geneva, because I always want to do it, but I'm just overloaded with work, so I don't get to things. But this year I called in some reinforcements. I said, Jeff, I need to do this. We've got a couple months. Can you fit it in? And he said, yeah, let's do it. And
he's running an adventure on Sunday. Is that what he's running?
He's running Trouble at Loch Geneva, and I'm actually going to play it.
Yeah, you're going to be a player. That's awesome.
Yep. And he said he changed it all up. So he said, don't worry about it. Changed it all up. I picked my character today. I went with the Human Ranger, keeping it simple. There was a lot of good choices, but I went with the Human Ranger. I figured that'd be a good choice in that adventure. And again, it's a relatively short adventure. It's a mini mod, and there's a couple areas like the mines and some of the areas underneath the Winter Palace of the Dwarf King that could be expanded upon. And I'm thinking that, again, if I have time, it would be fun to expand it and offer it in 1E and 5E, kind of do a conversion and kickstart it. So I really like it. And I like Thunderfrost Dragon a lot. So the artwork that Glenn Seal and David Hoskins did is just amazing.
Great. Yeah, I'm excited to see that one on Sunday, particularly closing out the day. That'll be really good. Speaking of which, that will be on GaryCon, twitch.tv/GaryCon. I think
I'll look it up right now. Like pull out my schedule.
I'm gonna beat you to it.
Trouble
at Loch Geneva. That's starting at noon Central, so noon to 4 Central time on Sunday. Twitch.tv/GaryCon. For those of you that are just joining us, thanks for the raid.
Hey, wait a sec. Is it on GaryCon or is it on Wizards of the Couch?
Did I just speak out of my rear end? Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It is on this channel. Woo.
That's right.
Thanks. Look at that. Corrected me.
Shout out to the Wizards of the Couch, you guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to offload content. Yeah, it's Trouble at Loch Geneva with
the crappy module, dude. Why we wouldn't put that on GaryCon? I mean, come on, I'm kidding. Obviously, I wrote it.
Yeah, Jeff Talanen and Luke will be back on this channel on Sunday from noon to 4, running Trouble at Loch Geneva. For those of you that just got in here, thank you for the raid, and we will be back on with Strange Encounters, a brand new show here in about 20 minutes, coming on at 10:30 Central Time. We'll run to midnight. Danny Lee Grimes, yours truly below me, guy there, right there by the GaryCon, will be running that show, where we design an encounter and map with a live audience. So stick around or come back here in about 20 minutes, and we'll get that up off the ground. Phil, thank you very much. As usual, excellent work. This is fantastic. This is the Gaxfiend. Audience and contestant Luke Gygax created content. We do this every Thursday at 9 p.m. Central, and we will see you again next week.
Hey, before you duck out, Matt, someone played a card for you to make a sound. We got to get
No, it was you. It was you. I think they said for you to make the.
No, I'm pretty sure it was you.
I don't know who played it.
I'm not sure who played it, but Matt.
All right, this thing is. It's a. I said chittering earlier, so like. It's what I imagine it's going to be in its That's what its psychic sound's going to be like, right? It's
I
not
like
gonna
the
have-
chittering. I like the chittering sound effect. Good job.
Yeah, it
All
doesn't
right,
have
so
any. It doesn't have any sort of. It doesn't do. It can't speak, but you hear it in your head, and it's just chittering. All right.
It could also vibrate its churn saw as it comes up.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That's enough. That's enough. Okay. All right. Thanks, Luke, again, and looking forward to the rest of the convention. Good night, everybody. We are not quite out.